What's up, guys? So, Doctor Strange 3 is looking to be a big setup for both the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, and so especially as we let of Doctor Strange is going to fix an incursion with Clea and the Multiverse of Madness, and even with the third Doctor Strange film, it's going to be dealing with the incursions and how it's going to be a big setup for the Multiverse Saga as we had more insight involving the multiverse and incursions, especially between the two universes that collide and showing one about entirely, and like especially with the third Doctor Strange film and what we can expect as well. But now we are breaking from an industry insider that gets us information about what we can expect, especially like with dealing with incursions, especially with Clea involved and so much more as well. And so that's what I'm doing here for you guys in this video is a breakdown what we can expect from the Doctor Strange 3 based on these plot details and rumors that were revealed by this industry insider, and also for what we can expect as well and so much more. And so if you're new here, don't like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so future videos of this. So let's get into it. Just to recap of what happened in Multiverse of Madness when Doctor Strange was visiting the Illuminati in Earth 838, we hear like this quote from Mr. Fantastic John Krasinski about with incursions and so much more.
The greater the risk of an incursion.
Incursion?
An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes, destroying one or both entirely.
And now, as we saw at the end of Multiverse of Madness, we saw Doctor Strange with the third eye popping out, and that means he probably caused an incursion, and that's how it in the post-credit scene. When Doctor Strange is visited by Clea, Dormammu's niece, that's a figure out how to stop an incursion, and even with Doctor Strange that is teamed up with Clea to stop this incursion together. And now, especially for how this is going to play into the third Doctor Strange film, especially as we're going to explore many universes, especially with the multiverse and everything that we know from it, especially as it's going to be a big setup, especially with the Council of Kings, with how Strange is especially going to be involved with that as well. And now, especially for this information is coming from, this is coming from the Cosmic Circus, and that they have reported that with Doctor Strange 3 and what Marvel Studios is playing the deal with this film, it's going to adapt some of the comic storyline. Time runs out, and even with that, it will pick up right after the events of Multiverse of Madness when Strange and Clea we're going to dealing with an incursion and how they were going to fix that, and especially as this goes on to say that it'll have the Black priests involved with Clea that is going to be a part of that organization in a Black Priest HQ. Now, I think in the comic storyline, and that was strange. He was definitely involved with the Black Priests, and especially for how this is going to deal with the incursions and the multiverse. And also that idea we want to say that with the multiverse is dying, especially with this tournament, and that means with our headquarters that are in between like the two universes that were caused by an incursion, which is especially strange cause. That will most likely what we're about to explore in this film is definitely with incursions happening throughout the multiverse. I said with these incursions that will be happening throughout the multiverse, and I think for what we're about to experience in the third Doctor Strange film is going to be very epic, especially as we can explore the multiverse. I think like more than from what we explored in Multiverse of Madness, especially with Earth 838, and even as it was explained that with Doctor Strange that he was a threat in his universe as well. I think that was explained by Earth 838 to Christine Palmer. With this plot that will mostly focus around Strange, it's because even with the Black Priests and Clea, they're going to be dealing with an incursion that apparently a strange cause in a Multiverse of Madness, especially from what we learned from Earth 838, and like even like the Council of Kings are revealed to be the cause of the incursion, and that means that like Strange is going to be going up against possibly a King variant. And so much more, and now that's going to be a big setup. And now, especially as it was explained by Christine Palmer from Earth 838, by how Strange was a threat to the multiverse, but they didn't quite show us how, because I think in that scene from Multiverse Madness from when they showed that with the Illuminati and they killed Strange, that he died defeating Thanos, and even with something, because I think in the third Doctor Strange film it's going to be explored more of how Strange is a threat to the multiverse and how it's got set up in the Council of Kings. And so I think with the third Doctor Strange film we're going to explore more about the multiverse, especially for what Strange is up against. And now, especially at one point in the comic storyline, and that was Strange, that he explained that the true intentions of the Black Priest was to save the multiverse. And even with Doctor Doom, who was also involved, and that he took Doctor Strange captive, and with the Black Priest, they were wiped out. And even even in Doctor Strange 3, if the Council of Kings are involved, even with the King who was established to be the next big battle of the Multiverse Saga, especially with the Secret Wars and even the Kang Dynasty as well. And this is about to become a huge event. Also, as it says here, because I think these are rumored details, but I think it will be revealed that what the main cause of these incursions is coming from the Council of Kings, which we did see in the Quantum Mania post-credit scene, and with these variants of Kang and their own system of war, and how it's going to be a big setup for both the Kang Dynasty and the Secret Wars. So especially as Secret Wars, it's going to be a big main movie event, and plus it will be so surprising if we could see a Kang variant in the third Doctor Strange, which is something that we all like to see, especially the events of Loki season 2 are going to lead to somewhere in the future of the MCU, but even with a Kang variant involved, that will set up so much more down the road. Even for how this will play out in the Multiverse Saga, that even that was Stranger, who was going to be known to be responsible for incursions, and I think with the third Doctor Strange film, and that it will be centered with the plot around it. Even with my main takeaway from all this, it sounds like with Doctor Strange and Clea are going to be dealing with so much, especially with incursions, and even that it was explained by the Illuminati, and even on so I think we're ready for one heck of a treat, especially for the third Doctor Strange film, as it's going to be exploring the multiverse more, and also with the incursions involved, and even if it's going to have with the Council of Kings involved, and I guess especially with Strange and who is he going to be going up against, and even so I think this is going to be a big film, and especially for where at the end of Multiverse of Madness left up. I think it's going to be a great take that, especially with the Marvel Studios that wants to adapt some type of the comic storyline, especially in this film called Time Runs Out, which is something that it'll be cool to see until it plays out in the future of the Multiverse Saga. And with my final thoughts on this, I think that this would be a cool concept to explore it in the third Doctor Strange film, and especially as we're getting these details early on, especially anything can change. But even for when the post-credit scene of Multiverse of Madness left off, and I think it leads us into wanting more, especially as Clea is a Dormammu's niece, and even with the Black Priests involved with an authorization, and even so with Strange and how it'll be explained how he's the main threat to the multiverse, and so much more. And I think we're in for a treat, especially for the Multiverse Saga, especially for Kang Dynasty Secret Wars as well. And so that is gonna be it for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. What thoughts on these details and rumors that were revealed for Doctor Strange 3, and how excited are you for the third Doctor Strange film? Let me know in the comments below. You can give this video a like and subscribe to turn on notifications about future videos, and you can also follow my socials, which are linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.